Good morning, people. It
Good
is
morning.
live watch. I don't know what's good about it. It's
Boxing.
time for the live watch along for Canelo versus Yildirim. I've got Ender the line with me. Good morning, Ender.
Good morning. How are you? I think we did the right thing sleeping through the prelims because I've heard nothing but rubbish about them. So let's see, does this Turk take it to Canelo?
We shall see. We shall see. But before we start, you're with JGs Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Ring Smart and Boxing Pin Badges, and we're going to go with some of this. Yes, I'm still here.
Yes, just about in that wife beater of yours. I say she won't be allowed back into bed. She'll be like, if you fucking wake those children.
Oh, mate. I'm sleeping on the sofa. Don't worry. All is good. All is good.
The joys of being living on your own. It's fucking great. And my neighbour plays country music loud all during the day, so I can give a shite if I wake up.
So, Ender, I'm going to start off with what do you think the prediction is for this fight?
Canelo in 3.
Exactly mine.
Good. Ender says something, Joel agrees. There you go.
I think it's literally going to be a case of he's going to finish it when he wants to.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a case of if he wants to get rounds under his belt, he can. If he wants to get it done quickly, and they pretty much announced the fight with Billy Joe, because that sounds like where it's going to go anyway.
Yes. Meanwhile, Billy Joe is selling meat tomorrow if you want to buy unrefrigerated meat at a hospital car park near you.
But moving on from that. So, they're both in the ring. Ref's just getting ready to go. Seconds out. Round 1. Here we go. Well, Yildirim's actually taken centre of the ring, so let's see how
Canelo's like, here, you can have that bitch. I'll take that when I want it.
Yeah. I can't see that working for too long.
Like, look at already, sure. He's already out of the way.
He's, put it this way, they were talking the other day and they were saying they reckon this guy's going to be the best Mexican of all time. And, well, who's going to stop it, really? Who's going to stop it?
But, I mean, when you look at his resume, I mean, he's fought everyone. I mean, he fought Mayweather, like, in Mayweather's prime when he was a young boxer.
Yeah.
Like, if they fought now, there'd only be one winner.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the Flash American.
I know. He's the big question is if you put in a prime Canelo with a prime Mayweather, what's your outcome then? Because that's it's a different fight, isn't it?
It's a very different fight, but one thing I love about
Mayweather as well, isn't it? It's different weights.
Well, yeah. What weight would they fight at? Like, I mean, I don't think Mayweather would want it up here. Like,
no,
super middleweight now. I think welterweight. I think Canelo would have to really shrink down. Mayweather would force him. But Mayweather, of course, is the most skillful boxer I have seen in my lifetime. Like, I mean, he is a magician. So what he would try to do is just avoid. He would avoid Canelo like the plague. But I mean, that's the basis of boxing: hit and not be hit. And there's no better practitioner of the sport than Mayweather in that regard. But if he got caught by Canelo, I think he would be in trouble.
The power is unbelievable.
But it's the fact that could a prime Canelo catch a prime Mayweather? It's cat and mouse. Like, it's.
It's all the slipping and sliding, isn't it?
Well, Mayweather doesn't trade, never did, never will. He's too clever for that. He's too clever, as he says himself, for that. No, he's off.
We're nearly 30 seconds in. Well, 30 seconds from the end. and just sort of feeling each other out.
Exactly.
That sounds awful, but
and they're big jabs. Like if you look at the jabs they're trading there now, that they're big jabs. You know. Oh, and he rocked him back there with that one there.
He's got fantastic how he reverts to the body with that left. He's got hell of a power, isn't it? Hell of a power shot.
Like, I mean, we're talking...
It's a casual punch for him, isn't it?
We're talking pound for pound territory here. I mean, like, okay, he mightn't be in number one now due to his inactivity, but I mean, if he fights 4 times this year, he'll be back up P for P King, you know?
Well, he's already said that's what he wants to do, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's already said that.
Well, I mean, like, if he fights guys like this, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. And I mean, no offense to every offense to Billy Joe Saunders, he's shit as well. I mean, he hasn't fought anyone of note, you know? I mean, like, he won the title off Andy Lee, and then what did he do? He kind of went on a tour of, like, what was it, shopping centres or something, or sports? Like, wasn't one of his last fights in a sports arena in Nottingham or something? Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Just for the taste of it.
Cheers.
I wish I do have Lucozade Orange in the fridge, but I'm not going. So anyway, first round there, I'm giving to Canelo on pure just ringmanship and everything. 10-9. There you go. I don't think we're going to have to keep score for this.
No, I'll put it this way. I didn't even bother bringing the pen and pad out, to be honest.
Like 12 tens is 120, 12 nines is 108. You do. I was going to say you do the math. I'm after doing it for you. Of course, there could be some tens.
Well, he's
10-8, I think.
Yeah, second round.
Oh, lovely. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're a fan of boxing, you have to be a fan of this man. Like, just the way he can just slip and slide in, and such power behind those punches. Like, I mean, Inoue, the Japanese fighter, who I'm a huge fan of, great tactician and boxer as well, but obviously he's a much lighter weight. But like, imagine getting caught with one of those Canelo punches. I think I would be dead forever, you know? like if I was a cat with 9 lives, they'd all be gone.
Just with one punch.
With one punch, and it'd be only his jab. Like, it wouldn't be his finisher or his straight or anything. It would just be I just threw a jab, man.
All I will say is hats off to Yildirim for taking the fight.
Well, Yildirim. Oh Jesus! There he used his.
But at the same time, he's got balls. He's standing his ground. And,
but Yildirim did say that he's never met a Turkish fighter before, you know. And Yildirim, like, I mean, Eastern European Turks, I mean, and ferocious, viciously powerful people, and very patriotic. So I'm sure, you know, Ozil and the gang will be all watching along, and Erdogan, like, I don't care what the result is in Turkish TV, Erdogan will have said no, he won. He knocked him out in 2 rounds. I don't know what fight you were watching, but on Turkish TV,
I think he fought Eubank Jr. as well.
Yeah, he did.
And he beat him in 3, I think. So, you know, Eubank Jr. was shouting out today saying, look, if I beat this guy in 3, where's my shot? And I'm thinking, well, it will come if you keep your resume going.
That's not how it works. Like, I mean, he can't fight every fighter that his opponents have ever faced. I mean, sure, like, who did, what's his name? The British guy he fought last. What's his name? Like, I'm sure he's fought plenty. What?
Was it when he fought Groves?
No. Canelo. Canelo fought.
Callum Smith.
Yeah, or even the one before that. He fought 2 British guys. Like, I mean, he's going to fight their back catalogue as well. In fact, I'd say Canelo would go, well, yeah, get in the ring there and I'll fight you all.
Well, it's like, apparently after the Callum Smith fight, he was walking down the corridor and Eddie Hearn was sort of stood out the back and he said, well, Who's next then? Who's next? And what an attitude to have, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
you know, that's what when you have a champion, you want to fight.
The only thing that's tainted it for me is that whole tainted beef thing. You know, I mean, and he did serve a very, yeah. That's what I was talking about. That uppercut is just a thing of
sweet uppercut.
And like, but he let your man give a go, and then he swing and a miss, which allowed him to just power up for his uppercut. And fabulous again. That's a 10-9 round. So there you go, 20-18 already.
So we're round 3.
Yeah.
This is the round we said it'd be over.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if Canelo wants it to be over. But then again, he can end this thing at any time. Like, look, he's already rocked him there in the 3rd. Like his
I think, like we said, it's as and when, isn't it? It's kind of one of those fights, really.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not quite like the the one we saw in New Zealand this morning. With,
Jesus Christ!
With Julius Long.
Sorry, I don't know with the main event. Yeah, Julius.
And he was put in the corner, and it was pretty much the corner that was keeping the guy up for about 7 rounds.
Yeah, I sent you that picture of me sparring with that really big, huge guy, and it was like, yeah, that's what that felt like. Now, he's down. He's down.
Yeah. Oh, he's having a joke. He's having a joke and a laugh, and now Canelo possibly is just going to go for it because he wants an easy night. Let's be honest.
He's loading up here.
He's great hooks and then body shots.
Look at those straight head punches. Those 2 uppercuts, another uppercut.
Good response.
Yeah.
Good response. I thought he was just going to get laid there.
Fair play.
Canelo forcing the fight now. 1 minute 20 to go. He's got Yildirim against. Oh no, Yildirim sort of found centre of the ring again. Hats off to him. Brave guy.
Yeah. I missed that. Was it a kind of a slip? It must have been because, he's taken so much of this that would kill kind of beasts of burden.
He's definitely counted as a knockdown, didn't it? So.
Oh yeah, I mean he got the count, but I'm just saying, like I missed the actual knockdown punch. So considering he's taking all this, it must have been some kind of slip.
40 seconds to go of round 3.
I think Canelo's kind of just taking his foot off the gas a little bit. So
he's just working him, isn't he? He's just working.
Yeah, because I think he thought there he could take him out the knockdown. It didn't work. So
tell you, Yildirim's throwing some shots though.
He is, and fair play to him. He's a guy that can stand and trade, you know. And I mean, when you're taking as much punishment as he is, and there's a flick to the head.
Yeah, 5 seconds to go. Round 3.
Well, Yildirim's deservedly going to see the end of this round, but it's a 10-8, if not a 10-7 round.
And that's our bet out of the way.
Oh well.
Hey.
I lose more in Arsenal every week, so I don't mind.
Don't we all, mate? Don't we all?
Actually, though, Aubameyang scored first last week, so that kind of covered 1 or 2 of the losses.
Yeah. I just think, what do you say in the corner?
Fair balls to you, that's what I say. Fair balls to you. We've got the check. We've got the check, lads. Come on. The check is cash.
Do you reckon they get to that corner and the guy just goes, look, we've got past 3 rounds. We've already beaten what we did against Chris Eubank Jr. Let's keep going here.
No, he was caught, but he
fantastic.
But obviously he'd steadied himself better.
Right hand. Straight down the pipe.
Oh, straight. Sure, I mean, it's over.
Oh, they've called it.
So come here. That's.
So to be fair, we've won.
Well, have we? Because it's retired at the corner. I think it goes to the next round. If my judging memory is correct. No, it's retired round 4. I'd say because he never saw the 4th bell. So I would say retired round 3. But I stand corrected to that. No, on Betfair it'll be L.
Yeah. All bets are off.
All bets are off. I ain't fucking selling it. I got some coppers. Oh, well, in fairness, I mean, I think the coroner knew best there. Like, he did ship some punishment. And maybe, I know we were joking about saying, well, the check cashed, but like...
But to be fair, like we say, you know, I think the guy is the mandatory, isn't he? He was a mandatory.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, let's face it, it's easy
I
to
think
go
he was
mandatory.
I think it was about 7th or 8th. You know, heading into this. So, you know, hats off to him. You know, he didn't shy away from it, and he's probably given himself more credibility taking a fight like this, because people will look at it as that was the guy, one of the guys that fought Canelo. So
yeah, and the guy that really took severe punishment from Canelo in that round, because how he stayed on his feet. You know, okay, he was caught, but then he planted his feet afterwards. Like, if you saw, he really planted his feet, so he wasn't going to move. But I think his corner men were, in fairness, for him going, well, you're just going to ship a lot of punishment here. So we'll take that now. And Canelo, did your wife look at Canelo, by the way, because he is one sexy bastard?
I have to say, his biggest struggle was pretty much taking his gloves off. was his biggest struggle.
Well, in fairness, the Turk did throw one or two big shots there, and Canelo just looked at him as if to say, really? You know?
Yeah.
So, fair play. I don't know who that guy in the ring is.
Genuinely thought he was more resilient than I thought he was going to be. Because he actually traded with him, and I thought
he did.
When they called it off, I thought, blimey,
I'd say the coroner did. To be fair, I doubt the boxer had much.
They must have thought, look, we're not gonna. It's not worth it because it's just going to keep on coming.
Well, it was very one-sided. Like, I mean, as I said, that could have been a 10-7 round 3. So
yeah. You know, unless the trainer had a bet down at the bookies that he had round 3 as well. You never know.
You never know. I don't know who that guy he's hugging is. Do you know who he is?
I don't, to be honest.
Is he some pop superstar in Mexico or something?
Yeah, he's definitely dressed that way, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Canelo's got another sort of world champion T-shirt to go with the collection.
And he's got his Hennessy Sports.
WBC love it. They love it.
I'm telling you, I'd raise a glass of cognac to him at this hour. Cognac and ginger, perhaps, but I'm going to have to go with just Diet Coke now. It's in the tin, so there is no whiskey in it, I swear.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, they've got the fighters in the ring. There's pretty much everyone's in the ring. Maurizio is there.
Where's little Eddie Hearn?
He's in there.
Of course he's in there.
Did you see
Eddie, though, for working his way in there? I mean,
he's got a 2-fight deal, isn't he?
Yeah, but the second Golden Boy Promotions got dumped by the courts. He was in there like a snot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not silly. A lot of people.
Oh no, but in fairness to him, I mean, he's come in, and I mean, when Queensbury Promotions were the big ticket, he's making Queensbury Promotions look like trash in the UK. And after that card I saw tonight,
well, there we go, new record, 55 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 37 KOs. That is unreal.
And his only loss, of course, coming from Mayweather. So
yeah, which if you were going to lose to someone,
yeah.
You know,
but to be a young and up and coming fighter and taking that fight, like he really, well, it says I am afraid of nobody. You know what I mean? And
so, yeah, Canelo's, not going to stop being a poster boy. Let's put it that way. It's
hello.
Good fight again. Yep. That's all right, Ender. I will. Can you hear me now? Ender's logging out and logging back in. They've literally called it at the end of round 3. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens next. We've literally got Eddie Hearn in the ring, dressed all nice and cash. So, Ender, welcome back.
Hello, sorry, my alarm went off for 4 a.m. there.
That's all right. It's good to see you up for it.
Oh man, I just woke for piss.
Eddie's now in the ring, looking casual as you like, I have
Jesus
to say.
Christ, what is he's looking like a school teacher, when he dresses, dressed down there. It's like
on a summer trip.
Yeah. Or like, one of those days where you get to wear whatever clothes you want and the teachers come in kind of half trendy.
But I have to say, he's just checking if the mic works. It's Canelo. Hats off to him. So it's another win under the belt. Can we actually see this guy being beaten? I think is the big question. Put it out to the people that are watching this now. Can Canelo actually be beaten? Put it in the comments below. And if so, who do you think can beat him? Ender, who do you think can beat Canelo?
I don't know. He'd probably have to go up a weight to be beaten. And
when does he stop going up weights? They were laughing the other day. I think it was on Talksport.
He's not going to be going to heavyweight anyway.
They said, what's stopping him? What is actually stopping this guy? It's frightening. How far does he go?
Well, in fairness, Roy Jones Jr. went the whole way up and did get a heavyweight title off John Ruiz. I watched that fight. So, I mean, he could easily, I definitely think he could take Joshua. I don't think he'd be afraid of Joshua whatsoever. I mean, Fury's power might be a little bit more intimidating, but Joshua as a boxer, I think he'd easily outbox him,
Yeah, it was interesting. I was watching a program today on Canelo, and they turned around and they were sort of reeling off the top sportsmen from each sport. So they were saying like Ronaldo in football, for example, similar sort of mentality that I'm going to win and I'm going to win everything. And they were going through each sport, sort of going back to, when you had sort of Djokovic in the tennis, for example, the same sort of mentality, win.
Well, I said Federer.
I'd say Federer, personally.
Like Djokovic is.
But if you know what I mean, it's that sort of mentality.
I do completely.
And yet they turned around and they said, but boxing, it never gets that same recognition when you look at those sort of people at that elite level.
What do you mean? Boxing has fallen off.
Canelo is that man at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, you go back to your Sugar Ray Leonards. I mean, even then, I mean, like if you weren't heavyweight, the vast majority were like not caring, whereas the boxing fans were like, oh my God, the four kings are all here, Leonard, Duran, Hearns and Hagler. And, you ask non-boxing people who they are and they may be able to say one, So it is like that. I mean, it's when it comes to the heavyweight division or when it comes to the very, very casual.
Oh, there you go. Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders, May the 8th.
There you go.
So that's just announced. So that's
the weekend of Cinco de Mayo.
So that one goes out to the fans as an exclusive. May the 8th, Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez.
So Canelo is going to beat some British beef on the weekend of Cinco de Mayo.
We'll have a quick chat about it now. How do you see that going? Do you see you
I
know,
see it
be
going pretty much like
more of a
this.
fight than this, though?
No, I really don't, because I think, who was Saunders fought? Like, I mean, he's not that good. I mean, this guy fought in a shopping centre last year. I mean, he's the British equivalent of that Turk. Like, outside Britain, who knows about Saunders? It's a bit like uh, up at heavyweight, the Olympic champion there. I mean, and everyone in Britain thinks he's the bee's knees. He went to America and got beaten by a fat Mexican. And that was his
AJ,
reputation shot. AJ, yeah. I mean, like, he's a nobody in America. And Billy Joe Saunders is about as famous as the Turk was tonight. And
we've got Kevin. Kevin's up. Morning, Kevin. Did Canelo win? He did. Yildirim retired at the end of round 3.
After a severe beating.
Hats, as we were saying, hats off to Yildirim. He did try and stay centre of the ring, and he tried to, fight fire with fire, but it just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, incredible performance. Canelo was just picking him to bits in the end. And once he'd got him on the ropes, it was just a case of target practice. He was going to the body and then just going back up to the head. Some great hooks and some great body shots at the same time. So, Canelo just taking him to bits in the end. So, another win for Canelo. As we were just saying, it's just been announced May the 8th. May the 8th, it'll be Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. We'll be covering that on here as well. Who won? It was Canelo. Yildirim, just retired at the end of round 3. Thanks for
these
tuning
are all
in.
the 4 a.m. people. This would have been us now. We'd been getting up going, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the fight? But
luckily, we got up, to be honest, because they actually said it was going to be 4 o'clock onwards.
But I mean, like, the undercard was so bad. Apparently, there was more filler. Like, and I think they were just kind of, well, let's get it started. So
there was more filler in No More Nails. Put it that way.
Exactly. Polyfiller. No more nails is a glue.
We'll just go with it. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Why do I do that? Like, why do I do that?
Don't question me at 4 in the morning. Just help me out here.
like it was a quip. Oh, there's the guys, and there's his Ring magazine, his WBC belt, and what's the black one? WBO.
Yeah. That Ring magazine. There's some beautiful belts in there. Let's be honest.
They really are. And here's the highlight reel.
What we're going to say is they're showing the highlight reel already.
They could show the whole fight again. But just look how he loads off, and that's my favourite. I mean,
do you know what? The uppercuts that he delivers are frightening.
But see that straight right, like straight drain pipe right, that absolutely rocked him in his core in the third. And they didn't show the subsequent beating he was given after that, but because he did ship some really big punches after that. But fair play to the Turkey. He got in and he took his he took his lumps for 3 rounds, as the guy says. No more than that you can ask of him. And Canelo, happy enough, job done. He'll take whatever millions.
Straight back into training camp, and he goes again on May the 8th against Billy Joe. So hats off to him.
Well, the only good thing about that is it might keep Billy Joe quiet for a while.
I think he's in. America at the moment, Billy Joe. Randomly, I was talking to.
He's allowed in America.
I was talking to Mark Tibbs the other day, believe it or not, and he turned around and he said, "Yeah, we're out, we're training." Mark Tibbs, by the way, great coach. So if anyone's going to get Billy Joe in the best possible position is probably Mark Tibbs.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt about that. But I still think.
Oh no, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Like he'll
if you're going to prepare someone, then that's probably the person to do it. You know, hopefully he's coming on in a couple of weeks' time on the show as well, which would be great.
Very good. That would be great for you. Well, fair play to the interview for that, and you know, just don't ask him anything that's not about boxing.
Well, to be fair, he lives and breathes it, doesn't he? He lives and breathes it. So
yeah, but his views outside of boxing are a little bit strange.
But hey, we go with it.
Yeah.
As we say, you've been watching JGs Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing, Ring Smart, and Boxing Pin Badges. It's
another Canelo masterclass.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. As I say, the next time we'll be on here, we'll stick the stream out and make sure people are aware of what's coming up next. I think we've got Lawrence Okoli is going for a world title, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be doing live for that. It's good times ahead. And next week we've got some great guests on. I'm talking to Peter Fury. He'll be on Thursday, and then we've got a live with Natasha Jonas on Friday. She's going to actually do a live, so we can have comments and questions coming in for her.
Yeah,
as well. So yeah, it's all happening. She took part
in the Olympics. I remember her from 2012.
Yeah, great performance as well. Great performance. She's got a hell of a future in front of her.
Well, I mean, you know, women's boxing is growing. It's an exponential sport, and you know, if she can get in on it, you know, it's great to see, and good luck to her.
No, as I say,
Canelo's being interviewed there now. I don't know if it's in English or in Spanish.
If you're if you're tuning in for the first time, if you're watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Have a look through the other videos as well. Have a look at, you know, see what else is on here. Give it a like. And as I say, you've been watching JG's Fight Talk. Thanks for coming on, Ender.
Yeah, is that Ryan Garcia there in the pundit booth there? I saw him. I was very impressed by Ryan in his last fight. I thought he was just a bit of a YouTuber. Well, not a YouTuber now. He is a proper boxer.
Well, no, he's one of these, you know, lads.
All his crowd comes off Facebook. Like, I think every Mexican girl and every, you know, Latino girl just obviously lusts after him. You know, teenage girl. He's their pin-up basically. You know.
I'll tell you that, but that's pretty good for the sport, isn't it? Because
but that's what you want, because otherwise, you know, it's people like Ryan Garcia there that's going to bring the sport of boxing through to the next generation. However, it gets, you know, it'll get it, and the hardcore fans will still do it. And I think he won over the hardcore fans. Ryan did with his last performance.
Yeah, against Luke Campbell, wasn't it?
Yeah, and fair play to Luke, and Luke has fought everyone. You know, he's really,
isn't there? I really like Luke.
I do too, and Luke was wonderful.
Guy, and he really tries.
Luke won in 2012, and Luke deserved his gold medal in 2012. I won't say the same for other British boxers, but Luke did. He fought an Irish guy in the final, and I said Luke won that, and even the Irish guy did. And there was no disagreements, or there was none of this kind of controversy. Luke Campbell. But he was an excellent amateur pedigree. He's an excellent amateur boxer. I'm not sure if he has the power to bring it up to the next level. That being said, he did floor Ryan, which would make me think that Ryan in against a heavier boxer or a heavier puncher would be slightly more dangerous, because I wouldn't consider Luke Campbell to be a big puncher. He's a technician. He's a wonderful boxer, but again, he's very much an amateur style, and I feel that Luke's going to be one of these guys that unfortunately will never get a world title, while lesser men have won interim or kind of just kind of worked their way in to get kind of a belt.
There's talk, isn't there, of Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao, which would be incredible.
Well, I don't. I think, you know, Pacquiao, you're gone, retire, go. You know, I mean,
I love the guy, but
I mean, you do too. But I mean, like at the end of the day, what age is he? 43.
Yeah, he's 42 at the moment, I think.
So
his training, because they put out training videos the other day, absolutely phenomenal. That guy
he can train all he wants, but the end of the day, he's 43, and we don't need as I like to call it, the OAP circuit. Well, in my opinion, I don't need to see OAP fighters, because how are they still going? I'd rather see the young guys up and coming fighting against each other, the best versus the best at the weight at the time.
I think he'll take his next fight will be a huge fight, and then he'll say, right, I'm going out on my high, and people will respect him for it. So let's hope so.
Who
Pacquiao. Yeah.
Well, I mean, boxers never retire. That's what they say. I mean, Andre Ward, I thought, was the classiest guy ever. He took his money and he retired, but there's talks of him coming back. And if he comes back, it's fine because he's quite young. But
we'll see.
We'll see. And that's just my opinion, of course. I'm not, I mean, everyone's, if people agree with it, that's good and they're bad. I just personally, I'm like, no, I want to see the best against the best current, not superstars from a few years ago or whatever. It'd be like if Mayweather came back now and fought Canelo. It wouldn't be the same thing at all.
No. As much as we'd probably
Mayweather would not come back and face Canelo because Mayweather's not that stupid.
Isn't it? We'd all still watch it. That's the mad thing.
Oh Jesus! It would be box office gold. It would break records across the world. But like he's going to stick fighting his YouTube stars and his people like that because it's just money for nothing. Like I mean, even fighting Conor McGregor. I mean, I think I've even refed Conor McGregor in a local club show. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean he didn't win a senior title in Ireland, so he never boxed at a senior level. He boxed at an intermediate level, which is just a step above novice. Now he's okay and he's a very good fighter and he's good at his MMA. Don't get me wrong, but the whole thing against Mayweather was a fucking shit show.
It's money in it. It's money.
Oh, it is. But like people trying to, does it? I just think it damages the sport of boxing more than it enhances it. When you have kind of, but then again, I mean,
it brings the crowd, doesn't it? And I think
Muhammad Ali fought Hulk Hogan, so
Well, on that note, we'll end it on the announcements being made. May the 8th.
May the 8th.
Billy Joe Saunders versus
May the 8th be with you.
There you go. Something like that. It's too early. Say what you want. As I say, Ender, where can people find you?
Well, at EFB man, but I mean, I'm kind of like a mouth for hire. I don't have TV channels like the boys here do. Joel obviously is his boxing channel, and the guys, Richie's over and over and over again. Arsenal, I just think is quality. The guy, his knowledge.
We've got brilliant. Albert JTV. We've got Mr. Arsenal podcast.
Yeah, and what's
there's
the
RJ as well. RJ Wills. There's plenty out there.
Oh, there's loads out there. But I mean, what's your prediction for the? I know you're such a positive Arsenal fan. I love you first. I'm predicting that Leicester 2, Arsenal 1. So I'm being Mr. Negative, of course. What are your prediction for today's match?
2-2.
Geez, that must kill you not to predict an Arsenal win.
It's difficult. It's such a difficult one. My heart obviously will always want to win, but then.
Oh yeah, well I want us to win, but I mean being realist and people.
I think it's a hell of a game. But
it is, and I think fair dues to Brendan Rodgers for doing what he's doing at Leicester, and David Moyes for doing what he's doing at West Ham. Like David Moyes still doesn't have a contract.
Well, as I say.
And he told Gould not to worry about it. He's not going to run off somewhere else.
We shall definitely see what happens in a few hours' time.
Yeah. So, look, man, I'm going back to bed.
Oh, so am I. But thanks for coming on, Ender. Really appreciate it as always.
I wore my Eurovision top again because it's Mexican colours. Portugal and Mexico, similar colours.
We'll be back soon.
Soon you'll see.
I think it's Lawrence Okoli coming up soon, but we'll make sure all the details are put out there prior to that. We'll probably do most of the card, to be honest. So we'll just see what happens. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Ender. You've been watching JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing, Ring Smart, and Boxing Pin Badges, which are available on Twitter. Check out their handle. Great guys, brilliant stuff as well. And yeah,
did they do Canelo?
And Canelo did it, as always. So we shall see you soon.
Cheers. Good night. You
Thank you.